broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, Grimsters! Welcome back! Guys, we're back!
Yeah!
We're back from our inexplicable hiatus. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on AfterBuzz TV's Grimm After Show. Grimsters, welcome back. I'm your host, Zach Wilson. You can tweet at me at @ZachWilson. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the episode Bad Luck. We're going to be doing it with my fantastic panel over here.
Hi!
Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at Yael Tygiel.
Yeah, that's correct.
YaelTygiel.
Nice.
Reading my neck?
Yes, I am. Tauri Miller.
Yes,
was
and
here
you can
as well.
find me on Twitter at TauriJ. It's Taurijay. Bam. It's not
Dylan,
on my neck.
Isn't it? Dylan Chance, unfortunately, unable to join us tonight, but he will be back next week. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this. Go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, where you can subscribe to this and all of the AfterBuzz TV panels. Over 100 shows a week that you can get here at AfterBuzz. You can also find us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Be sure to rate, comment, share with all of your friends, because you know there are Grimsters out there that are not lucky as you guys to listen to the insanity that is this panel.
Truth.
So help them find themselves here.
Help them.
Yes. So the quote today: "No one is so thoroughly superstitious as the godless man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Yeah, it's Harriet Beecher Stowe. It is.
Trying to help.
No, it's all about this is a very heavy in the superstition of the world. It's an interesting, when magic exists, where does the line between superstition and what is real stop? I'm curious. I mean, do you guys think that this rabbit's foot, the Vilahara foot, is actually causing magic that helps people conceive?
Well, I feel like that's what we're being told. That yes, that is how it works. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and it's not unheard of that magic exists, so I think that there is some validity to it. I mean, it's not like the Vessin believing that they're more fertile makes them more fertile. It's not like if a lady was like, you know what, I'm going to make my eggs more viable, or a guy was like, I'm going to shoot less blanks, then that's going to do it.
If you don't want to be shooting blanks, you just have to believe. You have to visualize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we got the big Vilahara storyline in this.
With Peter Rabbit.
Yeah, so
Yes, that was my favorite part.
It like didn't click at first. I think partially because when I first saw him Voga at the beginning, I thought he was a lamb.
He did look a little
I could see that.
lammy. Yeah.
It's short ears.
The ears were not very apparent in the darkness.
Yeah.
Would you say that his ears didn't hang low? They didn't wobble to or fro?
You could not tie those in a knot or a bow.
Oh.
His mom's were very long and fluffy.
Yes,
were.
yes, they were.
I just want to point out this mom. That's Finn's mom from Glee. She has terrible experiences with sons. They all seem to die on her.
Oh.
I feel so bad for her.
Spoilers.
The actor died.
Oh yeah.
Corey Monteith,
I don't watch that show.
Corey Monteith has passed away.
They just do a lot of over-the-shoulder shots now.
Let's move on to a less morose topic.
Yes.
Okay.
Chopping people's feet off for fertility drugs.
Yeah, Monkey Rabbit's fun. Yeah.
So,
Circling back to the magic, I just thought about this, in that, like, it makes sense that it would be a rabbit that makes them fertile, because they're, like...
Rabbits?
Yes, they're rabbits. So, that was a thing. Rabbit magic.
I did like that they were like, let's take this idea of a lucky rabbit's foot and put it together with what rabbits are also known for, and be like, what if this is a clever idea?
Yeah.
And somebody
Bart J. Braswell
pointed out that it was an early Easter episode.
I didn't even notice that, but it totally is. It's like perfectly timed.
Of course, you and I didn't notice it was an Easter episode.
Hey, I like Peeps.
You're like the only person in the world.
Well, a lot of people love Peeps.
Only Peep jousting, unless you're jousting with them.
I don't know what happened just now, but
Yeah.
no, but I'm glad they didn't like wait another week to bring us back to Grimm just to land it on Easter.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been cool if because the Christmas one was early, right?
Yeah.
And
well, no, because now you can go rewatch this next week if you want like a horrifying Easter Sunday
this is my
treat.
kind of Easter. And isn't Easter in 2 weeks?
I don't know.
It's
the
in 2
weekend
weeks.
of the 3rd, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
It's in 2 weeks. It's the
Yay.
weekend of Passover.
Gotcha. All right, enough with the religious holiday trying to remember stuff.
Happy holidays.
So the big plot line in this is this is not a brand new, we've seen this before. A rare type of Vessin is being hunted for one thing or another.
Yeah. But
We've seen it with the golden egg previously.
But I feel like we've had a lot of this hunter thing going on. You know, we had the manticore who is
The bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter.
Yeah.
We got this guy hunting, and I feel like we have a lot of hunting happening. Right? Or is it just those two that it feels like?
Well, no, there's a lot of people just with Adeline and Diana, like people are hunting for. There's a lot of people are looking for a lot of different things right now, and they are hard to find. Yeah.
For Meisner. He was not in this episode, and I was sad.
Meisner Watch 2015, still coming up short.
So sad.
I want him to show up, and then there be like a flashback of him in the background of all these episodes where you missed him, and you're like, oh, Meisner Watch is alive.
That would be amazing. Also, I'd like to thank whoever tagged me on Pinterest. Somebody tagged me in a photo of Damian Plucker shirtless, and I want to thank them. They deserve a shout out.
Nice.
I don't know who they were,
Of course.
Thank you.
But yeah, the 3 names of these characters, these Villahara rabbits, whoever named them is just having way too much fun, because you have Peter Rabbit, you have Beatrix Bennett, and then you have Chloe Bennett, which is not a rabbit thing, but Chloe Bennett is an actress who is on S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. Who plays Skye.
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as I heard this, like, Chloe, wait, didn't they say her last name is Bennett?
Yeah.
Somebody's watching S.H.I.E.L.D. I had a nerd moment.
Nice.
And I'm sure it couldn't have been unintentional. But we will never know for sure, will we?
Shout out to Thomas Ian Griffith, who wrote the episode. Yeah. There you go.
Shout out for your good naming abilities.
So clever.
We got introduced to the Villahara. We also got introduced to the Leporum Venators, which I guess is with Leporum. It's sort of wolf-like.
Yeah.
It's another Blootbot cousin.
Yeah. I mean,
if you will.
The chat row is discussing what kind of Vessin he was. We have no idea.
He's a Leporum Venator.
Right, but
Like what kind of animal base?
Well, just like there are a million kinds of dogs in the world.
Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
There are thousands of kinds of dogs in the world. There are many types of canine Vessins. Is what we're saying. We had the quintuplets. I mean, technically, Rosalie is a canine Vessin. Foxes are canines.
Right.
Interesting.
Which, an interesting. Let's just take a sidestep because we got Rosalie and Monroe in a fertility clinic this week.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yay.
I was like, oh my god, can we get some answers? Answers about, like, can these two have a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it seems the answer is yes. They very much can have a baby.
Right?
And even a medical person is like, That's cool.
It was so exciting to see this scene because it just opened up all these questions, because up until now, like, we've been discussing, is it possible? Can it be done? What would happen? Is it explosive? Like, what, what is this? And they go in and they vogue, and he sees that they're different, and he's like, okay, come on in, let's talk about it. All right, so neither one of you has infertility in your family. Your age isn't a factor. And I was like, what? So basically, yes? Like, this is happening?
Yeah.
It's happening. That's basically, he said yes.
How many babies can one show sustain?
Infinite amounts.
Yeah.
They can just juggle them.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have, you might say that the characters in the show are going at it like rabbits.
I don't know how to say your name. TAONAS91 says that the guy was based on black foxes.
Oh. That makes sense. Foxes hunt rabbits.
Yes.
It fits. Again, the type of canine. But yeah, so...
Yeah.
But it looks like it was very subtle. Like, Monroe is, like, just looking at all the baby stuff, and, like, Monroe clearly wants a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're projecting, but yes. We clearly want them to have a baby.
Well, yes, but he's also, like, very excited while he's flipping through the magazine.
Right.
Like, oh, they can have hearing here. And I feel like you don't sit next to the woman you're with and talk about all that stuff unless you're trying to say something.
Or, I mean, you're in the situation. I'm sure they have open conversations about it.
I'm sure they discuss it all the time. That's the thing couples do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rosalie looks over. You'd make a great father. So
it's happening.
So yeah, I think it. But like the most important part of that scene to me was that the doctor, when because they have to voga, in order to like get let into the office, and I like that he was just standing there like, come on,
yeah.
But he didn't even react to the fact that it was a Fuchsbau and a Blutbot. That was not even a worry or a thing.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
So maybe in this case it's not something explosive. Maybe it becomes a hybrid child. And that's how, like, that's how you wind up with all these different canine Vessin, is just the same way that you wind up with 1,000 different kinds of dogs, is crossbreeding.
Yeah, so they'll make, like, a Labradoodle or something.
I don't think Fuchsbau plus Blutbot equals Labradoodle.
I want the chat roll to start coming up with what that would be called. A Blutbau.
A Fuchsbot.
Go.
Fuchsbad.
Do it.
They got it. They're on it.
And chat rolls on it. You on Twitter, iTunes. I want you to get on it. Tweet at us whatever that new species would be called. Yeah. Maybe we'll pick a winner for next week.
Yeah.
We'll just give you. We have only shout outs to give.
We
but
will find a prize.
Yes.
We will make something better.
So yes, well, I'm issuing that challenge to you right now. Twitter, not Facebook. We couldn't find it on Facebook. Twitter, chat roll, and comments in the YouTube channel.
Yes,
we'll make sure you comment so we can find it later because the chat roll goes away.
Yeah, good call.
Leave it in a comment on iTunes, or leave it in a comment on iTunes, a tweet at us, or a comment on YouTube, and we will find it by next week.
Nice.
We thought this through.
What is the name of what would happen if you combined a Fuchsbau and a Blutbot? What would you call that thing?
I like it.
I want to know.
Yep.
Tari just won.
Sorry, I'm exempt.
Tari is supposed to be for the fans. No, but so they meet with Dr. Radfield, and he's totally innocent of he's the only Vessin fertility doctor left in Portland.
Well, I mean, there were 3, and I was really worried when he threw the file away that it was going to be the one that Rosalie was like, I know this guy, I trust him, it can't be him. I was like, it's clearly him then.
Right.
You said you trust him, therefore he is evil.
No, it turns out it's the nurse who looked at them very. I wasn't sure what that look was at the moment.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, they're cute.
I thought maybe she was not Vessin. and she didn't see anything. She's like, why are they just sitting there?
I was thinking that too. She's like, man, everyone's moving weirdly.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Boo69B says, I hear Rosalie say I'm pregnant to Monroe. It would make me really happy.
Yeah, it would.
It would just be the happiest moment ever for everyone on Grimm.
I'm going to be honest. I would prefer we see what happens before she says I'm pregnant.
You mean like dinner and stuff?
Yeah, dinner and stuff.
Yeah, she takes him to dinner.
Yep, that's exactly.
Some wine, but she doesn't drink the wine, and then she says it.
Yeah, something
so
rabbit
romantic.
That's exactly the moment that Yael Tygiel was thinking about.
Yep.
But so yeah, I mean, it was to a certain extent a standard Vesson of the Week storyline.
Yeah.
There's a problem. They find the person who's doing bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They track that person down. They say Nick saves the day before at least one last person can be hurt.
But Chloe was like super badass.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like at first she was the obnoxious sister, and then when she gets captured and he's like, vogue for me, love, and she was like, no. It's so good. I loved it. And then she just wouldn't do it, and then she kicked his ass.
Yes. That was my favorite part.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I mean, she first we just see her and she's just like bargaining with her brother.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I won't tell Mom, but I'm going to need something in return, you know, some of that cheddar. Or teenager cheddar, which is like cover for me with Mom.
Right.
But apparently Mom had very good reason for telling them, don't sneak out into the woods.
Yeah.
Somebody with an axe is going to come murder you.
Hey, Mom, maybe you shouldn't move into the woods.
Yeah.
Right?
Major metropolitan cities, I think.
I mean, in fairness, there are a lot more places to hide and axe murder somebody in a major metropolitan area, as is evidenced by this show.
But I mean, if you're in like the high populated area, like there are witnesses and you're never alone.
Right.
You know,
and yet there are murders everywhere anyway. Look at the evidence that has lasted for 3.5 seasons.
It always happens in the goddamn woods.
Yeah.
They're always in the forest.
They're in the city plenty. The point is, if you're maybe just not be in Portland.
Yeah.
Read the paper, Mom. Beatrix, go out. I don't know if the Vesson have a paper, but they must. And every day of it is just murder. Grimm solves it. Another one of us is dead.
I feel like there has to be some sort of webs. I mean, because Nick hasn't digitized his files yet, but I'm sure the Vesson are smarter than him and have like a forum where they can discuss things. Right?
Well, I mean, I actually want to know now. Is there a Vesson chat room, like an AOL chat room for Vesson?
Do chat rooms exist?
They seem fairly not non-integrated. Like they're all kind of doing their own thing. I imagine there's probably like a Craigslist like sub thing where it's like
their subreddit for Vesson.
Right.
I like that a lot.
And everyone just, if you go on it, you think they're crazy because they're using all these weird German-esque words. And you're like, all right, sure.
Yep. That's so right.
And then a German person gets on there like, what the? I still don't know what is happening here.
That's not even real. It's not a word.
But there must be, and that's the thing. I think the show will eventually go into that a little bit. We know that they're connected. Yeah. Just the Vesson Council is able to put out bounties via iPads and stuff.
I think it's weird that the council is like high tech and everybody else is like
old style,
no tech. According to Steve Bailey, old school.
Yeah.
And there was a forum with the ice beavers. Interesting.
Well, there was like a literal forum where they all gathered. Is that?
I was like, I don't remember them going online.
I mean, they literally got together all
What is that? That's not a forum.
No one goes outside. No one sees each other.
We have computers.
As if they were meeting at a lodge of some kind.
Okay, moving on.
But here's a question the storyline was It's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You all don't need me to recap it for
Super
you.
Easter,
You watch
yes.
the episode.
Super. Is that what Easter's about?
Yeah.
I would be way more interested in the Easter story if it was about
Me too.
O'Hara and Leoporum Venators killing each other.
I'm going to share that story with my family for generations.
I did love when Hank just shot the guy in the chest.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Like and actually this moment stood out to me because a lot of times shows fall into this pit of like in action scenes they want the guy to finish his big speech like, well, this is for me and all of my kind, and then stabs. But like in this case, this is for bam in the chest. Doesn't matter what it was for. You're dead.
I was like, who was he complaining about? Shut up. That's what I was thinking.
I think he was just gonna say this is for me because he's a selfish dick.
Right.
I can call him a dick. This is a man who chops off feet and sells them for $10,000 to $15,000.
Yeah. Okay.
He's also a detective.
Nice dick. I just before we finish this story, I really loved that we had this like kick-ass girl, and the mom and her survived, and I feel like this story was interesting enough that, because the past few story of the weeks have been kind of boring, I think, and I like this one that it distracted, and we had a really great sassy woo. And I think that we need more sassy woo. Also, he's like on it with his clues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is on top of that.
It's Woo's clues.
Yeah. Sassy woo is being sassy.
Yeah, I'll hop right on that. I couldn't stop it. I tried to stop myself.
Yeah.
That was what he said.
So good.
I mean, how many... I'm just surprised that nobody on the show made a Peter Rabbit reference. They were so close.
They were. Peter is a rabbit-like Vesson. You're telling me that Peter is rabbit-like? Say it.
I thought Woo might call it out at one point.
No.
But so here's my question. This is just like to the bigger Vesson. This is one of our bigger Vesson questions. Mm-hmm. So we saw the foot. We saw Peter's foot after it had been chopped off and it was under the bed and all that. Right. It was pretty big. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, it was a pretty sizable foot. More than, like, a teenage boy would have. Presumably more than that kid had. If you...
Yes.
Because he Voga's, like, without, like, think about it.
Right.
Would he have, like, hulked out of his shoe? But, like, this is, like, a bigger question. Like, we saw that he was removing Chloe's foot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he Vogue, and this is, like, another thing where it's, like, her humans can't see what's happening. So it's, like, do they just see, like, a shoe explode if it gets bigger?
Interesting.
Or do they, like, know to wear flexible sneakers that can...
I imagine that one.
But they like have special shoes.
Yeah, like they all wear Crocs or something, and it just stretches with them. I mean, because they would go through so many shoes if every time they vogued, it would be like they'd lose a pair.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting. I have no idea.
I just wanted to put that question out there because I thought of it while I was watching.
Yeah.
Like, because I noticed like the foot was just so much bigger than a normal foot would have been.
Yeah. I mean, I just, you never know. Maybe he had giant feet.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I thought your question was going to be, which was my thought, why did it stay vogued after it was removed? Because they usually, like, return back to human form once they are dead.
We've seen that before, though. If you kill someone...
scare them into it? Right?
No,
because
they have to use
guests that we get on this program, and we've got some stuff in the works. I can't confirm anything yet, but we are working on some exciting stuff, and we want to bring those people in, and you can best help us get them in here by going onto iTunes and hitting us with a rating and a review. Do we have any shout-outs?
When was our last show?
You're asking for math.
I'm asking for a date. Was it the 12th? Like mind control or something. The show needs to be more zombie Nick. Interesting.
I agree. More zombie Nick.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I'm not sure. if that's what it's gonna be, but I like the idea that it would somehow create like super soldier or like super Vessin.
Yeah.
If it's like to unlock some vault that has like the DNA or like some magic potion or something.
Maybe. We have one more from BBB09191953418188.
Are you giving out your phone number?
Yeah, it's definitely not my phone number. I think it's too many numbers. Looks like they stopped. I like the show, but it hasn't been on for a while. Looks like they stopped. Incorrect! We've not stopped. In fact, there was a hiatus, and we're back. So find us, BBB1098.
Yes, return to us.
It looks like we're having some technical difficulties.
I said refresh. It's back. We're back.
Yeah, so just refresh. If you can hear us and not see us, hit refresh.
That's not a thing.
But yeah, so let's get into Juliet's big.
Okay.
Because we left this big hiatus on the note of like, okay, Nick knows now.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about Nick and Juliet both having very strong reactions in this situation?
Go.
You want me to go?
Yep.
Okay. Well, the overall, my impression of the overall thing, for me having to put it in normal terms because it's not a situation I come across every day. To me, it felt like as if, for example, Nick were a smoker and now his girlfriend has lung cancer. So like he feels super responsible for it, and she's just trying to deal with it and figure out what she can do, what she can't do, but she knows overall she's terminal for all intents and purposes. And he's like going from doctor to doctor going, how can we fix her, etc. And then at the end, he's essentially, it's like she pulled off her wig and is like, I have cancer. And he's like, I want to love you. And she's like, look at me, I have no hair. And it's like, well, this is who we are now. How do we move forward?
Wow. That's almost as good as the diabetes one. Is that you too?
Yes.
That sounds like you. Wow, good analogy. I disagree because I do that.
That's fine.
I feel like the situation now is he needs to realize that because he started to think on these, he had the flashbacks of times when she accepted his bull and accepted his situation and did all this. And yes, this is his fault. He needs to suck it up and be a man and deal with it. You know, this is the woman that he loves, and he wants to spend the rest of his life, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Let's say she would have accepted the proposal. They would have gotten married way back when, right? If that were to happen, there are these words you say, like, better or worse, sickness and health. Those kinds of things that you vow to do, one would say. So, yeah, okay, she's a hexen beast. Deal with it. You love her. Accept it. It's not going to change, and you love her. I thought that he didn't want to look at her at the end because he didn't want her to see what you see when you look at a Grimm. I thought at that point he'd finally kind of come around and was trying to protect her.
Interesting.
When he did look at her, she didn't see, or at least she didn't react as though she saw the darkness.
I think she did. I think she's already voted in front of him, and he was looking right at her at that point. I think she definitely saw that blackness. Maybe it's informed a little bit how she's reacting here, because I'm kind of angry at Juliet.
Yeah.
Look, Nick had a bad reaction when he first found out.
Right.
He left just like, where are you going? I don't know. Like he needed
understandable.
He needed a moment. Yeah. That's a big news drop.
Right.
Juliet ran away.
Yeah.
When she first found out that he was a Grimm about this and about all of this, she didn't believe him. And granted, she'd gone through her own insanity with losing her memories and then falling in love with Renard leading up to it. So again, both people in circumstances where it's understandable that you might not react in the most controlled way. Yeah. But after he comes back and he's like, I'm gonna stand by you, I love you, we are forever, it doesn't matter. he's still clearly struggling with this, but he's willing to work through it.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm gonna vogue, which she knows is a horrifying thing to see. And it's like, look at me. I would
have been like, girl, calm down. Give me a week. Like, this is new.
She's like, kiss me. Kiss this horrifying, leathery, wrinkled face.
That had no lips. That's the other thing.
Right.
She's talking and it's not moving.
You can hear the chatter of her teeth hitting. Well,
gross.
However, to her, in her defense, I guess I will say, I mean, no matter how much he's trying, I think what she is saying, that she doesn't want just like lip service. He can say that he wants to try to make it work as much as possible, but he's still disgusted with her, you know. And so that, and if anything, the veneer of her like human face is only an illusion now. She is the Hexen Beast at this point.
Well, that's an interesting, I guess that's a big debate amongst like that we've heard throughout the series, is like, with Vessen, are you hiding your true self when you're not vogued? Is that your true self coming out, or is it some other part of you breaching and covering up who you are? Which is the real person? And I think that sort of varies person to person, and like Vessen to Vessen. Like some people, like Monroe is a perfect example. Like the blue butt underneath is more like a part of himself that he's tried to move past in his life. It's this piece of him, just like you have like a family history that you don't. If you have a bad family, let's say you come from racist folks or anything like that, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that thing, but it is still a part. That upbringing and those people's influence on you, for better or worse, is still a part of who you are. So if that could come out and physically express itself occasionally, that's sort of what I think Monroe goes through when he vogues.
I would say Adeline would be like the opposite, right? Where she is a Hexen Beast, and then she puts on this little facade of humanness. Right?
Yeah. It's sort of another weird analogy. I'm going to stretch a little bit here. It's sort of like Superman versus Spider-Man.
I'm so excited.
Well, Superman, he is Kal-El. He is Superman. And he puts on Clark Kent with the glasses. That's his disguise. He is disguised when he is Clark Kent. But Peter Parker is Peter Parker, and he hides as Spider-Man. He's pretending to be Spider-Man.
That was beautiful.
But much the same way that Vessen, you're right. I think it's different for different people.
Yeah.
But I feel like Juliet has only just discovered this. It's a completely new part of her. Like, that shouldn't be at her forefront.
Yeah. It's like she just discovered that she's 1/8 Irish.
So she's gonna go get tanked on St. Patty's Day. It's like, no.
You said she discovered this little part of her. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, but it is a big part of the rest of her life, because this is like a massive power that she's going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Even Henrietta's like, oh, you don't even know. She's so powerful. Henrietta. Yeah, so let's discuss that for a minute. Because, so Nick wants to meet with Henrietta, because he, much like Juliet when it first happened, doesn't believe the fact that it can't be fixed.
Right.
Like, no, and he's finally playing the card that like all the fans have been shouting about, like, but we just saw some Hexen Beast lose their powers. Like, why can't we just do that again?
I like her answer. No, it does. No.
Just turn to the camera. It's not going to work. Shut up about it.
Just back off. She's a Hexen Beast now.
I feel like we finally got to that point in the show. We're in for the 4th season where they're like, you know what? Let's just take care of the answer to this question now. Right? We had all 4 seasons to get to, well, how do they know he's a Grimm when they look at him? And now they're like, you know what? We're just going to shoot this down real quick.
Right.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just as a general thing, I'm like, just do it right away.
Yeah.
Get it all. And I think they did a good job with this one of getting it in as fast as you could.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
God damn it, Yael.
I said it. I'm sorry.
I'm happy to be back, you guys. So, what the hell were we talking about? Oh, so Henrietta comes on to Nick. She's like, starts stroking his face.
She doesn't even come on to him. She's like, I have you. I control you. I could do you if I wanted.
I mean, very interesting. Just like we sort of haven't gone into how powerful Hex and Beast are. We know that their spells can be powerful when they like cook up potions over like a month or like, but that's different from she's just standing there and she effectively, without doing anything but standing there, is able to. He's like ready to make out with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Until she releases him.
She rolled a 20 on charm.
Okay. Shut up. We get a thumbs up in the booth for you. I had something to say. I lost it. Go.
Henrietta.
But so so Nick at this point, he just doesn't like. There's nothing to do, and that's what he's being told.
I feel like Adeline we're seeing that she might be like the weakest Hex and Beast we've ever met.
Yeah,
right. Because like she can't do anything without like first making a potion or making the cookies, or I have to read a book about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until like when she had the baby and she was extra powerful.
Yeah.
But other than that,
and that was mostly the baby.
Yeah, she seems to be really weak as a Hex and Beast.
Yeah, I guess the only one who has been weaker was her mom.
Well, I would argue
it's
not
true.
in favor of them being strong, but I would argue that their family seemed like they never really had to do much for themselves. They never had to like fend for themselves in any way, so they've never had to be powerful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they were well off.
Yeah.
And pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we see from Renard's mom how like a powerful Hex and Beast can just be like, I'm gonna stay young.
I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So we don't even know. Henrietta could be like 200 years old for all we know.
I'd believe it.
Because she seems like she's just like the most studied of the Hex and Beast. Like she knows this stuff. Yeah. We also haven't seen Renard do anything like super powerful, but he's only half Zauber Beast.
And a man.
He's a man.
Shut up.
But it's fair. We don't know if Zauber Beasts have the same type of powers as Hex and Beasts.
Right. I mean, we know that Juliet is more powerful. We know that Henrietta is more powerful. But I feel like Adeline is less powerful.
Right.
Like, there's like here's the Hex and Beast, Henrietta, Juliet, Adeline.
Well, she's really strong at getting pregnant, so that's a thing.
She's really strong at getting men in bed with her.
Yes.
Whoa, guys. I mean, we sort of saw it from a preview, from before the hiatus, but whoa, Adeline's pregnant again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is there more to say?
Keep it in your pants.
No, look. Here's the thing, Adeline.
Are you about to PSA to her? Adeline, I need to
Yes.
It's an intervention.
Yeah, girl, look. No one's judging you for sleeping with all these hot guys. No one's gonna judge you for that. They are all really good looking. Good for you. Get on the goddamn pill. What is wrong with you?
She has had way larger priorities.
Yeah, like revenge.
Or use a condom. Like, I don't understand. I
she did. Look with Nick that she couldn't. That was the whole thing. She needed.
Get on the pill. No, I get it. I'm saying, if you are going, she's an adult, right? She is a fully fledged adult. She's a lawyer, right? Remember way back when we first met her?
She was traipsing around Europe in like some magical brownie induced.
Yeah, but she didn't sleep with anybody then. I'm just saying, what kind of response? Like, she's an irresponsible adult, and I feel like because this is her second unplanned pregnancy, I'm gonna get so much hate from people. But if you're gonna be that. If you're gonna do that, then you need to be smart about it. If you could become a lawyer, and seduce all these men, you can learn to take the pill or any alternative option. It just doesn't make sense.
I assume she'd have to have some kind of Vessin pill. It wouldn't have to. I don't know if she could use the regular one though.
Why not?
Well, I mean, especially in this specific case, where because we know Nick's the father,
Right.
She needed all the stuff that happened there to like work its magic, if you will.
I get it with Nick. I totally get it with Nick.
Well, that's what happened here.
But if she's already being irresponsible. How I don't trust her
But so
to
she
raise
couldn't
a
have-
child if she's going to be this irresponsible.
Right.
I mean, she is literally going to the ends of the earth to get her child back.
By the ends of the earth, you mean just Portland.
And Europe. She went to Europe, Tauri.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right.
She went halfway around the globe.
So just Portland and that palace.
Yeah.
Just that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Not
mean-
even Europe. She didn't explore Europe. She went to one specific place and stayed there.
Yeah, but it was far away.
Okay.
It was a hike to get there.
Okay.
I mean, and it wasn't even really her choice to go to Europe.
Yeah,
she would have
that's true.
stayed in Portland the whole time.
looked there. Yeah. You're right.
It's got to be here.
I know it, but it's somewhere.
Angela Butler says Adeline is too selfish to be a mom.
Yes.
I mean, I would disagree, though. She's being, in a sense, she's being very selfless. She's doing nothing now but looking for her child.
Okay.
But it's for her own benefit. It's so that she could have a child. It's not like, hey, I want to raise this child to be a functioning adult. It's like, no, I had a baby. It's mine. It's like if someone stole your toy and you're like, that was my toy.
Wait, so if you had a baby and somebody stole it and they're like, they kidnapped your child and they're like, don't worry, we got a really good family to take care of it. Don't even worry about where they are. That's not important right now. Just know that the baby's cool. It's with my buddy's mom. Just they're on the road.
So here's why I think you're wrong. I'm going to defend you without asking. Because if you recall when she was pregnant and everyone wanted the baby before it even came out, no one cared about the actual baby. They wanted this baby because of the circumstance, because of whose baby it was. So it's not that she had a baby and loved it and then it got stolen and then she was like, no, it's my baby. Like you were saying, there was this object, this precious object. It could have been a gem for all we know. You know, that she wanted this gem because everybody else wanted this gem.
Baby MacGuffin.
Yeah,
but I don't think at this point she's looking for, I mean, yes, at that time, but I think now she is looking for it because she wants her baby back. I don't think she's looking for a trading piece or anything like that. She's aware that it's going to be a problem once she finds Diana, but I think she wants to keep it away from Victor and away from everybody else. She wants to raise her child on her own.
Yeah.
For all of Adeline's faults, I think she that is at least a very noble thing. Like, maybe not noble is the wrong word, but it is a reasonable thing to want to raise your own child.
You know, it'd be super reasonable is if she learned how to, use protection. That would be reasonable.
She keeps a gun on her, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, but it prevents the magic from happening, Yael. And otherwise, how's she gonna get her powers back?
She wasn't using magic with Renard or Eric. Eric?
Yeah.
Yep. Or Victor. I don't know who else she had sex with.
Anyway, but let's do we can speculate on and judge Adeline's misadventures all day. But
I would watch that show.
The big thing is that we're getting a child now that we don't know has ever existed before. It is part Hexenbeast and part Grimm.
I'm so excited.
Not to mention under crazy magical circumstances of where powers are being transferred and reactivated and all kinds of stuff. That was strong enough the whole spell was strong enough to create a mega powerful Hexenbeast before. What is this baby gonna be like?
And what is it gonna see when it vogues in a mirror? What is it gonna
The head just explodes.
It looks in the mirror and all it sees is death and blackness.
I like it. Yeah.
It's going to be real interesting. Of course, for anyone who's unaware, Claire Coffey has been open about. She is the actress Claire Coffey is pregnant now.
What?
So, We've talked about that before on this show.
Also, she was pregnant when she came to visit us.
It's true.
Done.
But so yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, looks like Adeline's having another baby. But so what do you guys think? I mean, is this going to become... Is she going to be like, I got my baby, you guys keep the other one?
I doubt it.
Is it going to be like that she just has like the two most powerful children on the planet?
I feel like she's going to take it and use it to her advantage.
Yeah.
And she's going to topple the royals.
Yeah, well, I think she's going to use it as leverage against Nick.
Right.
Mostly to see if she can, or also against Juliet, because now this is another thing that she's taken from Juliet.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's going to be a real big issue.
I like, we have a Stephen Bailey says zombie Grimm hexen beast.
Oh yeah, because he's like a mega Grimm already.
Yeah.
So you've got like super Grimm plus Hexen Beast with crazy reinvented magic powers combined into one baby.
I'm tired. Like, that's exhausting.
Well, either way, it's almost impossible to speculate, but we're gonna do some of it.
Yeah.
In predictions.
What?
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
There is sound.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Support.
Okay. Yep.
Oh my God! What? Teona's 91. What if she has twins?
One of each or a double make. I'm tired. This hurts me.
Well, there's also a chance that it'll have no powers, because not all Grimms manifest as people. Or yeah.
Oh.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You're like the weakest You had all these pieces in your recipe.
They all
nothing.
negated each other, and it's human.
Yeah. Then that's where humans come from.
When a Grimm and a Hexen Beast get together, when she's pretending to be someone else. Well, I mean, maybe it is going to be human because she's pretending to be Juliet or she was Juliet's form. Right?
Well, see, that was I think we talked about this like a bunch of weeks ago, and it's an interesting point. If she was Juliet, she took a potion that made her Juliet at the time of conception. Did that transformation go so deep as to rewrite the DNA of her eggs? Look, I know it's crazy, but if she did, that would effectively mean that it is actually Nick and Juliet's baby, DNA-wise.
Well, so then... Okay, sorry, I'm just figuring out in my head. You speak.
Okay, I disagree though in that I think that it just changed her facade. I don't think it made her DNA Juliet's DNA. I think because the human image is essentially not her true image. I imagine that was just I forget the name of the spell, but it's like polyjuice potion. It doesn't necessarily change who you are on the inside. It just changes what you look like.
But when we changed him back, Juliet had to be Adeline because there's magic as opposed to Juliet just looking like Adeline.
Maybe it's sort of like voguing, where it doesn't really change what's on the inside. It doesn't change how you are perceived by other people. So it really is more surface level than anything else. If certain people looked at you, they would still see the original person.
Well, Joseph Ortiz says, brain hurts. Bring in Maury to figure it out.
That I want to see that digital special where they have Maury try to sort through the issues of this group of people. So you slept with you
and your boss,
and you two were sleeping together, and you were in a sort of drug-induced love with your boyfriend's boss,
who she already slept with.
Yes, and then she slept with your boyfriend.
All right, guys, bring it. But
as you,
also it looked like
so predictions for next week.
Juliet and Renard. She needs a place to stay.
Yeah, well, where's she gonna go?
His bed.
No.
Why not?
She's gonna hang out at what is it, Monroe's and them's, because they're her best friends. They're all besties and things.
Yeah, it's odd that she chose.
I mean, I don't think she would go to Monroe and Rosalie though.
Why not?
Because she's turning her back on Nick. Like, they would, I think, in this case, like, be like, yeah, give Nick some time to adjust. Like, I think they would side. I think to a certain extent, and maybe I'm projecting a little bit because I'm on Nick's side. I think they would side with Nick. Maybe they'd put her up as like a, we'll let you stay here while you two sort things out.
Right.
But I think maybe she doesn't even think that they would be okay with that.
They're her
And she
friends,
also
too.
is going to want someone that can help her deal with the Hexenbeastness. So
Right.
she goes to her friend, the half Zauberbeast.
The really hot Zauberbeast.
Yeah.
She used to kind of have feelings
I
for.
mean, here's the big question and
Yeah.
the big predictions question. Are Nick and Juliet done?
I don't think so. I think it'll take a lot of time to build back their relationship, but I think that they're end game, as shippers say.
They are endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that too. I think they're definitely endgame. I think they might split for a bit. Maybe Trouble will have to come back and fix it because Mom and Daddy are fighting. And
Maybe Trouble comes back and just slaps him like, what the hell are you two doing?
yeah, that's what I like. I want that. Let's do that.
All right.
Also, Meisner. Maybe he's the baby's father.
No.
Shut up.
Real quick, I have a Crazy Pants Banana Town prediction.
All right, real quick.
All right, next season we're going to jump 30 years, and it's going to be a war between Diana and this new baby.
Whoa.
Excellent. I like it.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
On that note, that's going to do it for the Grimm After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tauri Miller, where can people keep up with you before next week?
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. It's TaurijAY. Also, catch me on the Flash and Arrow panels.
Awesome. You can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. Also, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all sorts of other places at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And if you are a London-based nerd, tweet at me. I got some good news.
Interesting.
Yep.
Guys, I'm Zach Wilson. You can tweet at me at @ZachWilson. And also here at AfterBuzz, a whole bunch of shows. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Tuesdays. Tomorrow night, we have Helix and Better Call Saul. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're so excited that Grimm is back. We'll be here every week recapping nonstop through the finale because there are no more hiatuses.
Yes.
Thank you guys. I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.